For time beyond memory, people have experienced at first hand physical, visual, and auditory events which could not be explained, and so it was feared. Today, we call this the paranormal. Our podcast will delve into this world of the unknown. So sit back and join Tina, Jake, Chris, Bridget, and Bill and journey into the darkness with us. Welcome to Paranormal Researchers Ireland podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Paranormal Researchers Ireland podcast. And 4 of us are here again this evening. So myself, Tina, Billy, Jake and Chris. And we will start as we always start and jump right over to Chris and he can tell us what we're going to be looking into tonight.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Tina. A lovely introduction there, I have to say. How you doing, guys? This evening, for this episode, what we're going to be talking about is a very, very popular location here in Ireland, a very popular castle and a very well-known castle, known as Leap Castle. And before I get into it, I just want to... You've never been there, Billy, have you?
That's negatory on that one, Chris. Never been there. One day I hope to when I'm all grown up. When I'm all grown up. No, I've heard a lot about it, obviously, and I've read a lot about it and stuff like that, but no, it's actually one location I've never been to. I don't know why. I don't think the stars have aligned for me to be there yet, but one day.
We'll get you there someday.
One day.
But, maybe after this lovely introduction, now you might want to go there more, you know what I mean?
We might go down there tonight.
But anyway, guys, as I said, a quick introduction. There's loads of history about this place. I've done a bit of research before this episode, got a lot of it off the Leap Castle website, so feel free to go there if you want. But starting off, the building itself is thought to have been built in the early 1500s by the O'Bannon clan, who were at that time working under the rule of the O'Carroll clan. The current structure itself is said to be built over a previous castle, which I didn't actually know that myself. And before that, that site itself was said to have been used by the Druids for ceremonies. The castle then, as I said, built by the O'Bannons, was originally called the Leap of the O'Bannons, and it is said that to become the leader of this clan, 2 brothers were fighting over the, for want of a better word, the jurisdiction or whatever word you want to call it. And as part of the route to get there, the 2 of them decided that they'd have a competition and jump off the rocks where the castle was built, and it would be the survivor of this jump that would become the chieftain.
Well, one of them obviously landed in the bushes.
I don't know why I'm laughing. That just seems very strange. Anyway, I'm only going by what I read, but yeah, Billy, one of them must have landed in the bushes, and the other just obviously didn't see the water.
Trampoline, maybe, or something.
The O'Carrolls used Leap Castle as their home until it was taken from them by John Darby in 1642, and from then up until the 1900s there was a lot of renovations done, a lot of changes and stuff like that. And it was in 1922 when the fire occurred, which burnt a lot of it to the ground. It was literally just a vacant shell. The priest's house and all beside it as well was burnt down. It was left vacant after the burning until 1974. It was bought in 1974 by Peter Bartlett, and then it was sold to the Ryan family in the early 1990s. And that is, as I said, the brief history. We will be talking about, because remember, Tina, we were talking to Sean down there during the last lockdown, and he actually gave us a lot more information about when he took it over and stuff like that. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
That's a very short answer. I was hoping we were going to go into more details.
Just one thing before you mentioned at the beginning of your 24-minute intro that it was built on a previous site. That happens a lot in Ireland. Most castles are built on previous sites and holy places. And
I didn't know that about Leap, though, that it was built on the site of where previous castle was.
I didn't know it because Leap is so old.
Yeah.
I just presumed.
It was always just Leap.
Yeah.
Before that was called L.
Yeah, there were 3 letters. So for people that haven't been there, Leap Castle, even myself before I went there, I said to myself before the very first time PRI were even in it, I thought this building was going to be massive. Don't people hear the word castle? You think this place is going to be absolutely enormous. But don't get me wrong, it's bigger than my house. But I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than what it was. It's literally
It's a tower.
a tower.
It's one
yeah.
tower.
Go ahead, Billy.
Oh,
You said oh, sorry.
Oh.
Right. Just a very giddy episode tonight. But yeah, it's one tower. As I said, it has 1, 2, 3 floors, if I remember correctly.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, the top floor is.
is there a basement area in it?
There is a basement.
There is basement. yeah.
But we're never allowed.
Yeah.
You're not allowed into the basement. So when you walk in, so he has that part of it. Sean has that part of it cordoned off.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like ground floor, middle floor, and then Bloody Chapel.
Yes.
That's I'm right in
Bloody
saying that.
Chapel is top.
But yeah, there is a, and we'll get into the oubliette and all later on.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
You probably heard of that lovely place. But yeah, a lot of history with this building. Sean has done an immense job down there as regards the upkeep and stuff like that. There is a lot of hauntings. I actually seen a couple today that I think literally forgot about. Everyone's probably heard of the elemental and the 2 children that are said to be located around the building or seen around the building, which is Emily and Charlotte. But there's actually other hauntings as well.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of a place with as many hauntings.
I actually
I was
today,
looking into it today. The Red Lady,
the governess,
elemental, the governess,
it's crazy.
But I didn't know also that I have it here on my phone just to get it right. Did you hear of the murder hole room?
I only hadn't heard of it.
Today.
Had not heard of it.
Have you heard about that, Billy?
No, I've never heard of that until
Jake,
now.
did you?
No, never heard about that.
Murder hole
Interesting.
room, people would presume, is the oubliette.
But it's not.
It's not. It's a secret room. It's murder hole room is not the oubliette. The room's location is kept a secret. Legend says another member of the O'Carroll family was murdered here by another relative. This room is said to be increasingly haunted as well.
All right.
Now, is that the murder that has brought forth the elemental? Because I know that the elemental is brought from one of the clans.
There's a couple of sources that
And
they
that's
say.
why his face is all disfigured.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
that
like
is one of them.
And
But
the
there's been no kind of root cause analysis done. There's been no kind of definite answer given on where the elemental originated.
Yeah.
You're right. That is one of them. Another one said that the Druids put it there to
101,
protect the land. Another one said that Mildred Darby practiced the occult.
Yeah.
Mildred Darby was in the castle in 1900 something, wasn't she?
I was reading something.
1906 or
Yeah.
1904.
I
So,
can't remember how.
yeah.
I was reading something about the Fae as well.
Yeah,
They're
and
opposite.
apparently, like, she done seances and all that, and she either willingly or unwittingly summoned the elemental.
She was open to
Yeah.
practicing
Yeah.
the dark arts.
Oh yeah.
Black magic, and so
And as you said, it was meant to be one of the clans,
Yeah.
and that was more. And then there's another one that said it was a person that died of leprosy.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
That's
yeah.
where the elemental came from.
But
So-
there could be 2 or 3 different.
oh, absolutely,
elementals.
absolutely. So what I think we might do, guys, is talk first about the hauntings that you can search online
Yeah.
and find online, and then I think we've done a couple of lockdowns down there, and we might say a couple of things that has happened during the lockdowns. What do
Yeah.
you think of that?
I think that's an absolute. I think that's a rather great, wonderful, fantastic, fabulous
put the
thing to
drink
do.
down, Billy. Put the drink down.
Billy,
yeah.
I don't know whether to take you serious tonight or not.
No, don't.
Well, I think I'm going to give a little bit
Yeah, do.
of an insight into the elemental,
Yeah.
just because the one person who said that they seen the elemental is Mildred Darby,
Yeah.
and it was 1909.
Yeah.
So, and I want to read a little bit that she wrote, which is just a couple of sentences.
Oh, yeah, very good.
So, and it'll just let people know what the elemental seemingly is meant to have looked like. She gave an interview to the, there it is, the Journal Occult Review is what it was called, a magazine. She claimed she was in the gallery, she looked at the floor when she suddenly felt a hand on her shoulder. Thin, shadow-like, and the face was like human, but it wasn't human. Oh yeah, you were saying it as well. His face was all decomposed.
Yeah.
The eyes showed some. Oh yeah, she smelled a horrible smell, which made her ill, and it was like a decomposing body. So take what you want out of that. The
Yeah.
elemental,
Yeah.
There are,
particular one.
yeah, and there's apparently 7 different, in the Irish folklore, there's 7 different
That's I
variations
read
of
up.
elementals.
Yeah, I read up today.
They
on,
represent blood and cloud and sky and wind and etc. etc.
this one was not representing that.
The one that's most dangerous, apparently, I think, according to my, I don't think, apparently, sorry, according to my reading, is the one that's brought from Thoth, or
Oh,
the one that
wow.
doesn't exist, because that doesn't exist
Take
until
on any
it's
form or
conjured.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, that's my perception now. I could be
interesting.
wrong on that,
Yeah.
but when I was reading about it, it kind of had the way I word or read about the words is that's the one that's the most evil. It's the one that's conjured
Makes sense.
from people, like, that doesn't
From
exist.
imagination,
Yeah.
But no, you're right, and like the elemental as well was black holes for eyes, bent arms, smell of rotten flesh, and all, as you're saying as well. I think it's saying somewhere as well, like it had kind of a greyish colour skin and like hair, like covered in all, like there's all different kind
All
of takes on
different,
what
yes.
I knew somebody who looked like that once, actually. So.
Jesus. But yeah, the elemental is, would you believe, I think I read as well that Sean, Ryan and his family had never actually experienced it, because they say the elemental in Lep Castle will only appear or make itself known if you only unless you provoke it.
And they're ancient. They're as old as time.
Yeah, you have to provoke it before before it'll make itself
They're
known.
guardians as well.
That's it.
They were conjured for guardian and protection.
And that's
for
why
the
it's down
druids.
around. But they
Yeah.
said that the elemental doesn't show itself unless it's challenged. And the last time the elemental documented was seen is in 2006
Oh wow,
really?
that
Yeah.
that
at
recent.
the castle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that is one of the most famous associated with Lep. The governess is one that I spotted there today as well. This governess entity is reported to be seen in the main hall with the 2 girls, Emily and Charlotte. People that have experienced or witnessed her have said that they've been touched and they've experienced someone walk past them. And it's actually on the site there as well that Sean's friend said he saw a woman in Victorian clothing walking across the main hall, who they put down to the governess as well. Now,
Okay.
the history of this entity, the governess, I don't know where it's coming from or what happened to her or anything at all like that, but that's one of the entities that's associated with the woman as well.
Sometimes spirits don't have to come from a location. They can be drawn to a location.
Or just
If there's ley lines or if there's an energy there.
And especially sure if there was a castle on the land before that
Oh yeah,
castle.
absolutely.
You don't know.
Who's to say it's not
But
from
if
that
she
as
was
well?
in Victorian clothing, that leads me to believe that she's from that era anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
So Tina mentioned the Red Lady.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to cover this one, then you take another one, Tina, if that's all right.
No, I'll take the red lady.
No,
You
I'll
took the
take
other
the...
one.
No,
I am.
No, tough.
No.
Guys. Guys.
Tina, you can take the Red Lady.
No, go on. Go
You
on,
sure?
Alison, go on.
So the Red Lady is said to be very tall and carries a dagger above her in a threatening way. When she's present, it's meant to be immensely cold. And where she originated from, or where this entity originated from, is said that the Carols captured her and raped her. They said that there was a baby that was born due to this, and they killed it. And the Red Lady killed herself with the same blade.
Well, maybe her aura is red because of vengeance.
Vengeance, yeah.
Yeah, because they say that happens in spirit world, that if they show a blue aura, they're calming, but if they show red or anything like that, or green, it could be envy, or
Yeah,
you know, so it could be
Absolutely.
vengeance, anger.
There's actually a lot of
Hatred.
There's a lot of information associated with that as well.
Yeah.
Like colours and auras and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
that's
as well.
right.
Now I know completely nothing about it.
Yeah, well, our microphones are kind of
Yeah,
they
colours.
change colour.
Yeah, absolutely. Tina, next one.
I know you took mine. That's the only one I looked at.
That's the only one you looked at. So,
Well, I suppose as well, there's a lot of there's all the bones that were found.
audibly, yeah.
There was the bones of 150
bodies,
people.
yeah.
What I was reading up on it as well, I have to throw a spanner in this, you see. So I was reading up, and it was all these. It was actually a lot of different sites and a lot of different people who study old Scottish and Irish castles and what rooms were used for and all. So, and I haven't got that wrote down. It's just from my memory. The
Oubliette,
that they were never used to torture people.
Seen that as well.
They were never used for that. They were used to store jewellery, money, valuables, and that as history, and also they could be
they're
used
very
to,
small. They're tiny.
But that's what they said. Now, I'm not saying that's what they were used for. I'm saying that some people are
It's their theory.
discrediting the torture thing, that the bodies were thrown down, and that maybe along the way somebody wanted to get rid of a body and they threw it down there, or somebody could have been falling down there by accident.
Well, you wouldn't get 150 dead people in an oubliette.
Well, that's not your right thing. I read up that as well, that they're originally used to store valuables because they're kind of hidden away. And then they said that the O'Carrolls actually modified it.
Yeah, well,
that purpose. So apparently, like, the O'Carrolls weren't, well, judging by what I've read today, they were interesting enough clan.
Jumping off cliffs.
By what they've done. But apparently, they killed 39 O'Neill clans. By poisoning them, they cut their throats and then they threw them into the oubliette.
And that, right? So this is what I read, and I was looking into why. This is just a question for all of us.
Yeah.
Why? So these O'Carrolls, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were so powerful and so badass and all like that. Why did they throw them into the oubliette? Why? They would have liked to have seen the people that they were torturing and killing, and they
as in a don't mess with us scenario.
Yeah, so they would put it on show.
Hang them outside and stuff.
Yeah, but they hung drawn a quarter. But they often done it in front of people. So why would they have hidden the bodies in the oubliette? Why? That, when you think about that as well. Now I know they did, and there was bodies found, but it does make sense of what these people that have thrown questions in. Now it's not specifically for lead, but for all the castles.
They could have hidden the bodies for.
Why?
To say that it's a power thing, so the other clan couldn't find the people because they had very spiritual, ritualistic burials back then. So they probably were going, you know what, they can rot there and they're not going to get consecrated properly, you know.
But see, the thing as well, there could have been
we're just surmising, guys. We're just surmising
from Game of Thrones. Like, there could have been agreement in place. No, but genuinely, there could have been like some kind of agreement in place, but they weren't happy with it, so they decided to kill some of the clan while still reaping the benefits of the chieftain, or do you know what I mean? Whatever it is. But that is a good point.
Well, it's like an unconsecrated grave. Like, it's, you know what I mean? That could have been their way of going, fuck you.
No, but you're right. And I think as well, I didn't read anything when I was researching this again, anything about spikes in it.
I read that there was 8-foot spikes.
Yeah. And I didn't see anything. So see the little that they threw him in there and left them to die. They just threw him in there to leave him to die. You know?
And then what I read, because I had read that one as well, and then another one I came across was that it was modified with
8-foot spikes.
8-foot spikes, and that they landed. And then even to the fact of, did they clean it out? Even to the fact, honestly, did they clean it out? And they said that they would throw something down to get rid of some of the flesh or fats or things like that, but the bones were left. So
I think as well, actually, while you're on that subject, the 150 bodies, that was meant to be another, if I remember correctly, how the elemental originated, that when the oubliette was found, the energy was released into the castle.
But
it's
the
much
bodies
easier
were
to
found
store
in
bones.
1920.
Yeah.
And the
elemental
1909.
Yeah.
So
recorded before.
And it would be,
you're right. You're absolutely
It would be much easier to store a pile of bones than a pile of bodies, because bones are like, obviously they can be contorted and moved and broken apart.
I like this, but this sounds like it's coming from experience.
Well,
Jake, did you kind of notice that?
Well, you know what I mean. Like, when you're bad, you're bad.
It's not me. Did you? Am I the only one that picked up on that?
Not really, but I just
moving quickly.
I got it from reading your books.
Plug again, Titan. Keep going. What was that? What books were they?
I got it from reading Chris of the Rush books.
But really quick one as well. Emily and Charlotte. They're the really kind of famous children ghosts associated with the place. Emily is said to be about 11 or 12, and Charlotte's said to be 6 or 7. These ghosts are said to be are said to have been seen playing in the main hall and running up and down the stairs. A lot of people believe that they lived at the castle in the 1600s, and it's said that Emily died after she fell from the castle battlements. And since then, people have reported that they've seen a girl falling, followed by a loud scream after that. Charlotte is said to have a deformed leg which drags behind her when she runs after Emily. That's one of the kind of traits with the two little girl ghosts. And the two other things I want to just actually say, the Bloody Chapel, which we'll talk about in a minute, how it's called that. But people say the Bloody Chapel, there's been lights and glowing lights seen up there, and we've been up there. There's no power. There is no power up there, isn't there? Yeah. Strange smells, and the O'Carroll priest is said to haunt that place as well. We may as well get into it now, will we? Well, yeah. So it's meant to be haunted by one of the O'Carrolls who was a priest, and the reason he was killed by his brother, because he felt he was disgraced because he started a mass without him. And he started a mass and he arrived obviously late, and he was obviously put out by that or whatever, and that was in 1532. But again, we go back to what we were talking about. The O'Carrolls seem to handle a lot of things by violence.
Yeah.
They seem to be very don't mess with me or don't damage my pride kind of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of scenario. And just finishing up then, we can have a chinwag, the priest's house beside the building, which is still a shell to this day because that was burnt in 1922 as well. But a lot of people have said that they've seen shadows moving around that area and followed or accompanied with chanting. But when you highlight the fact that you can hear the chanting, it stops.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's if some or if not all of the
Very
interesting
interesting.
hauntings.
So a lot of those hauntings would be going back to one of our earlier podcasts. I think by the sounds of it, stone tape theory, where
Oh yeah.
they're not. There's no interaction.
Yeah.
But now, apart from the elemental,
Yeah.
maybe the Red Lady. I haven't read anything on her, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When you guys were down there, sorry to cut across, Chris. Did you hear anything, or did anybody see anything, or any?
So, well, I'll actually give you because like I do the blogs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting night down there because I was doing the Bloody Chapel, and two different groups, if I remember correctly, did see a shadow moving around the Bloody Chapel, and they said they seen like some kind of weird lights and stuff like that as well. I was only after reading that today, I was kind of going, it's kind of like what? Do you know what I mean?
Is the building made of granite?
I actually don't know. Oh no, I don't think it's granite.
Isn't it? Because granite's associated with lights a lot. Like
now, there could be granite in it though. I'd say.
Granite around the area. Because I'm not trying to get all. But apparently lights, those type of lights, fairy lights, I think they're called as well, are seen around where there's granite and stuff like that.
Will o' the Wisp.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are a folklore thing.
That's right. Yeah. People have seen it, and apparently it's where there's cracks in granite and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, our County Wicklow, there's apparently a lot of it seen and spotted around that area. Yeah. Getting away from Lep, but yeah. Interesting.
But no, the lockdowns, the public ones have been interesting. Again with the spirit box. Again, for people listening who don't know what that is, it scans radio frequency. The really quick introduction, it scans radio frequencies really quickly, and the theory is that entities or ghosts, whatever you want to call them, can communicate through the white noise. But yeah, when we were using these, we put on the headphones using the Estes method. Again, guys, for a really quick introduction, and you can't hear what the person's hearing, and you ask questions, and they give it like if it's an intelligent answer, it's just interesting, you know what I mean? I can't remember the exact answers given, but some of the people in the group were kind of shocked by what they were hearing because it was relating to what we were asking, you know what I mean? Remember that's a while ago, I think you actually put the video up on the PRI page, Tina, about the stick figure.
Yes, I was just about to say, when you were going to stop talking, I was about 5 minutes ago.
24 minutes
So up in the Bloody Chapel, as I said.
The stick figure. I put that
on the
up.
SLS, was it?
Yeah, the SLS. I mean, to be honest with you, in the middle floor, we got a good bit of response with the SLS camera.
Okay.
And then the top floor, the PS.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be different pieces of equipment in different floors. We haven't investigated, let's say, the bottom floor, because
Yeah.
that's where we sort of all gather.
Congregate.
Yeah, that's where we have our breaks.
That's where me and Tina kind of after the, because it does be, how long do we stay there a fair length during the
Jesus,
Publix? It
yeah,
does be
yeah,
fair for a few hours,
yeah,
and does be fair a few hours, like, so we're there for the early hours of the morning, we'll say,
yeah.
and
All
the
night.
stove does be lighting, and you can actually see as the night wears on, the chairs get closer and closer and closer and
To the
closer and
stove.
closer to the stove.
Yeah. Chris has his old man chair. He sits in his chair and his slippers and his hat. And
But yeah, no,
Roast these chestnuts.
but yeah, we've never actually investigated the bottom floor, which would be interesting.
I mean, of course, if the place is haunted, it's going to be on the bottom floor, but I'm sure they're just laughing at us.
Yeah, well, the main hall apparently, judging by the research refreshed myself with, has been a lot of activity associated with
How
that.
big is the main hall?
You're talking, it wouldn't be huge. Like,
No.
you're talking, like, it's just literally a tower now. Obviously, a tower can be like 100 foot by 100
Yeah.
foot, but it's probably,
The bottom floor, no, I can't even explain. I was going to say
Yes.
the bottom floor of Wicklow Jail, Billy, but no, sure, that's huge.
no, it wouldn't be that
Yeah.
size. No,
It's not that size.
I'd say probably 30, 40 foot by 40 foot.
Are you compensating, Chris?
Like, anyway,
Get any facts out.
Ah, that-
No, it's terrible, isn't it?
40 foot by 40. Yeah, that's big enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's bigger than my house, as I said at the start there, but if you're going there with the impression that this is a huge, grand castle,
It's not.
it's not.
It's
Um,
worth seeing.
It's like a keep, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just one section is still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the rest of it is in ruins. Like
Yeah.
Would there have been other parts of the building that have been destroyed since, like that? Maybe it would have been bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with
As
the,
in-
the priest home and all at the side of it. So there was this massive fire in 1922, and that's where the lots of
Okay.
damage were done.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Sean, the current owner, you can see there's a lot of love gone into the building,
Yeah.
and a lot
He's
of
done so much.
a lot of detail. as well.
Yeah, anything I've heard, like obviously I haven't been there, but anything I've heard about the place, everybody loves Sean, like that. He's,
Oh,
he's
Oh,
gentleman.
great.
He's actually a gentleman.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
brilliant.
yeah.
But I think if I remember last time, didn't he walk into that? It was like just a hole in the ground,
Yeah.
and he had to
Shovel it out.
shovel out. So it was just
Wheelbarrows.
all rubble and debris in the hole, and he had to shovel it out. But he done it all
Wow.
himself.
Mm.
Shoveled it out through the main door all by himself. And all the artifacts in there. So there's a lot of different kind of statues and kind of
From different eras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He picks them up
He
from
pick- yeah.
antiques around Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he picks them up because everything was looted out of the castle. So
Yeah,
was all
absolutely.
gone,
Yeah, yeah.
And again, that's throughout the castle. As you go up to the middle floor, you can see the same thing again. Like, isn't there a
Okay.
harp? There's a harp there.
Mm.
There's a big harp there and all as well. Yeah. But then when you go up to the Bloody Chapel, it's literally
derelict
it's
again.
derelict.
Rubbles.
It is. There's no glass in the windows. I'm sure people that are listening, if they've been there, you will need a jacket.
Yeah.
He put a roof on. The roof was
The
gone
roof-
as
the roof
well.
was
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 And he put a roof on it just to obviously prevent any more.
And protect it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a great location from that point of view, and a great location from a paranormal point of view.
Yeah.
So,
What do you like the location, Jake?
yeah, Lep Castle is very good. Yeah, I enjoy it. I know a lot. Like every night I've been there, it's been very active. Like
yeah.
it is, as we said, it's small, but there does be a lot of activity. Yeah.
It's like yeah, you'll definitely go in there. You'll have, it's like, I suppose, like the Hellfire Loft, all them kind of stuff. If you're going in with the right intentions, you'll definitely have a good time.
Mm.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
You will enjoy it. So here's the question. I'm getting into me random questions now. Here we go. Jake taking a deep breath and I'm going, oh Jesus, here we go again. Lep Castle, when was the first time you heard of it?
First time I heard of it
Yeah.
would have been probably about 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, about 10 years. 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had you heard about it before you started PRI?
No.
You?
I hadn't heard about it before I started doing investigations. So before PRI, but not before I started.
You were in the...
I was
you know,
in-
Yeah.
I was in this before
Yeah.
before I even heard of it.
I think I seen it on TV actually, and it might have actually been before PRI.
Mm.
And I think I seen a documentary, a Ghost, because I was
About
like,
it.
Yeah, before Most Haunted and stuff like that. It was on TV. This is going back years, and I think I've seen something about it. I was fascinated by the place,
Yeah.
but again, I've never been there. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yourself, Jack?
No, I didn't hear about it before. No.
No. Same as himself, it's PRE. That's when I heard about it. That was a quick answer. Of all the hauntings we've talked about, which one would you like to encounter? No, I don't mean provoke. We said that the elemental you have to provoke, but we're not talking about getting them to appear. But which one would you like?
the Red Lady, I think.
Why is that?
I don't know, just to see that. If she's tall and she has a knife, and she's red. So 3 of my favourite things.
I keep going back to the fact he talked about bones earlier.
Yeah.
And many bodies. Now he's talking about how he likes knives, and like I'm just kind of starting to
He's keeping it real,
like
really.
starting to link all these together. The next podcast will be how Billy left the team.
Mysteriously.
No, genuinely, don't Red Lady.
Yeah, Red Lady, yeah. And all joking aside, because I just think it sounds like a very interesting and very visceral type of haunting.
Yeah. Okay. Yourself, Tina?
I suppose Red Lady as well. But obviously the elemental.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the elemental, because I have the least faith in that.
Right.
I don't believe in, which I could be slated for saying this. I just really don't have a lot of faith in the elemental.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Okay, no.
I don't have a lot of belief in it. But if it was real, the elemental.
Okay. Why the elemental?
Just because it's dark, like it keep me on my toes. You know,
Yourself,
really.
Jack?
Yeah, I'd be happy enough to say any of them now. Yeah.
Fair play.
It
to
would
you.
be
Happy enough
dull.
to say
Fair
them.
play, yeah.
Happy
No,
enough to
be
say
dull,
it.
like,
Would
I
you want
wouldn't.
any more detail there?
In this industry, you can't be picky.
Okay.
So you
He
can,
gave the right answer.
He
We were
actually
being
did. We were being-
The
No,
elemental
I-
sounds cool, but
Yeah, the elemental does, and because it's so ancient, I suppose,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
part of the Irish psyche, you know.
What's your better answer? I was going to give another question.
Oh yeah, Chris, what's your answer? What's
Obviously.
your answer?
But the
Yeah.
thing, I'd love to investigate the elemental, because if it wasn't meant to be human and it's meant to be there or summoned there or
Yeah.
put there, whatever it is, it'd be interesting just to investigate something like that,
Yes.
just to see what kind of interaction you actually get off equipment or
Yeah.
yourself or whatever it is. Like the whole kind of smell of rotten flesh and all that kind of stuff. I'm not
It's
saying I
appealing to you.
I'm not saying I love the smell of rotten flesh. That's Billy's department.
That appeals to you.
what's the name of your favourite band?
Rotten flesh.
Cannibal Corpse.
Oh Jesus! But I kind of walked into that, didn't I?
You did.
No, it's just something to investigate like that, because to see how it would interact if it was interacting. Here's a question for you: would you live there?
Depends
Anyway.
if there's
Red
takeaway
lady serving you.
nearby. All
Actually-
joking aside,
Actually,
I would love to live there.
would you?
Yeah, I'd actually
Okay.
love to live there. Yeah,
Why?
just away from people.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Because it is.
I love people, but just to be away from them.
Because it is. It is. No, it's not in the. It's not literally in the middle of nowhere, but it is. There is a
Far
distance.
enough away.
There is a distance between it and the nearest
You
town.
wouldn't be
like.
walking
You
there
wouldn't
to the pub.
You wouldn't be walking to the pub. So you'd like to live there?
I'd love to live there. Yeah.
Me, I would like to live anywhere secluded
You're giving Jake's answer.
on my
now.
own. He's not a just
You're
like,
giving Jake's answer.
I mean, yeah, of course. I would say, isn't it everybody's dream? But it's not everybody's dream. That
Yeah.
would be torture for some people. I would like to, just because of the history and the feeling,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But it appeals to me, it to be so secluded as well. That really appeals to me. I'd like to live like that.
Jake, what do you reckon?
Yeah, that's it. Just it's very cozy. Like it's
Yeah. It is-
other than all the history and all. Like
It is actually
it's,
cozy,
it's
though.
like
It is.
seriously.
it is actually
There's a
close.
big stove and
Yeah.
Is there
oh, I'd
food?
live there. Yeah. Huh?
There's food there, obviously. Yeah,
Obviously,
Well,
There would
you're-
be, yeah, there
you're
would be.
definitely
I'd
moving
definitely moving in.
And
No,
I,
it's yeah. Sorry.
I'd live there as well, but it's a thing that, like we talked about history and all, like there is, well, apparently documented stuff that went on there, like the murders and the killings and the poisoning and the oubliette and the O'Carroll clan and the Darbys and the Bannons and all that. Look at me throwing all the knowledge, but yeah, like there is stuff that is meant to have happened there. It'd be very hard to forget it though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to forget it. He'd want to keep the place alive. Do you know what I mean? Keep the memory alive.
I don't feel like it would.
Oh no, I'm not saying it would stop you,
Yeah.
but it'd be very hard to. You'd be always nearly asked, "Geez, did you see anything?"
But I wouldn't have anybody around.
Nobody would ask me. Yeah, there won't be anybody there with me. Good lad, Billy.
If something goes wrong, there's an old gate lodge as well at the.
There is, yeah, the gate lodge as well is actually there, yeah. Billy, that you've never been there.
Yes, sir.
Judging by your limited interaction tonight, I know what I mean is of what you've heard tonight.
My knowledge.
Which area would you like to investigate?
Really interested in the Bloody Chapel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could, when you asked that, I
Yeah.
could see Billy in the bloody chapel.
Really?
That would be, yeah.
I
honestly.
think so, yeah. I could see myself now. I would have recorders in every nook and cranny of the place.
Do you know the only thing in bloody chapel
Is the
is you couldn't really put a recorder because
Yeah,
the wind
'cause the
comes through
breeze.
every.
there is
Yeah.
breeze,
Sure, I'm just
yeah.
thinking that. But I could just see you sitting in the bloody chapel on your own. Like,
Oh,
I
I'd
could
love
just
to.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to. A couple of hours.
Be asleep.
I'd fall asleep, yeah.
I'll just put another link there together. The bodies, the dagger, rotten flesh, bloody chapel. Like I'm telling you, if there's any Gardaí listening into this podcast, William Cullen
Of the Cullen clan.
of the Cullen clan, yeah, exactly.
I'm harmless.
But yeah, the bloody chapel, good stuff. There is, and I don't know what, and people always ask me, and I don't know what it is, but you know when you walk into the bloody chapel, you go up that lovely spiral staircase. You walk in through the door and you look at the main window on the oubliettes to the right hand side. There's another stairs to the left. Now I don't know if that's just like back down the tower again. I don't know, but I don't actually know what's down there.
It's all, there's like big crow nests and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You can't go down it, so it's not used. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is
There
another
is another
stair.
stairs, but I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So
Probably goes
there's like
down. It
different
probably goes
places.
down the way, does it?
It does, yeah. It goes down, Billy, like what I said there. With the, you know what I mean? Like you're too busy, falling asleep. But
Can I just
That's
say,
only because you're.
Billy, I have to say this. Do you remember the first investigation you came on? Remember with another team, and it was in a hotel.
Oh yes, it
And
was
Billy, I
fantastic
had
night.
sang Billy's praises about how amazing he was and all. And this was not PRI, it was another team that we won't mention. And I was saying how good Billy is. Billy wanted to join the team, so I said, right. And he came down after a day of spray painting. You do graffiti.
I used to do graffiti, yeah.
A very talented
whereabouts,
graffiti
just
artist.
to, just so we get the
guards.
specifics of that for the Gardaí.
It was a commission.
But Billy arrived down out of his bicky on the fumes of the spray. And we were doing,
Spitting rainbows.
how funny was it?
That
We
was
were
brilliant.
doing this investigation and we went into the hall of this hotel and we all had to sit quiet. And you fell asleep and snored. And he jumped and woke himself.
Woke myself up.
And we all said, did you hear that? And Billy's like, yeah, I heard that. What was that? And all he didn't know it was. And then he looked into a mirror and you seen some woman or something
That's
staring
right.
back. it was brilliant.
Maybe don't come and investigate Lev Castle. Maybe
I
that's
think I'm in the wrong game.
Billy, that was it. That was
Yeah.
it. We were stuck together
We were
from
stuck
then.
together like glue from that, weren't we?
maybe you should.
Billy's like, I was spraying all day.
So anyway,
Funny. That was
I was always going to be spraying, wear a mask. I didn't. It was my own stupid fault.
pure I did not endorse any unsafe behaviour.
That was the best.
That was pretty good.
Go on, Chris. Go on.
No, jeez, I'm grand. Oh yeah, I love the Bloody Chapel is very interesting. I love the way I can just kick back into the topic.
Great, isn't it? It's just like
Isn't it great?
so professional.
So professional. So yeah, the Bloody Chapel is very interesting. Because again, that's where I think was in the feast where there had been poison and all that kind of stuff. And
That's where the feast was. That's where the altar, wasn't it?
yeah.
Where they gave mass when he came in and killed them all. There was a lot of history with the bloody chapel, and that's where the oblette
Oh yeah,
is.
yeah. And a lot of people when we've done lockdowns, jeez, I can't even talk. There is always someone in the group that experiences something. I don't think maybe I have. Let's say that maybe I have. But I'm 99% sure there's nearly always something. Someone's experienced something in it, be it the equipment reacting, be it a sensory thing, be it a physical thing that they've been touched or that they see shadows or something like that as well.
In fairness, the bloody chapel is bleak.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It is bleak, like
I
it
wanna
is. You
go.
go up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you get
Like
a
it's a
feeling
gravel
up
floor.
there.
Like
Oh,
it's a gravel.
I just want to be there like now.
Yeah. It's totally, yeah.
Right, guys, I'll see you all later. Okay, he's finished the podcast.
He's on his way with his cans.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jake, where's your favourite place to investigate in?
Yeah, I've done both the middle floor and the Bloody Chapel, but the Bloody Chapel is obviously more raw. Like,
Yeah,
so
it is definitely.
it feels more like
Natural.
well, obviously it feels more like spooky, you know. Cause
Yeah.
But the middle floor is good too. Yeah, I enjoyed it doing the middle floor.
Yeah. What I remind people as well is that when you're facing that way, just be wary if you are going down there, you're facing the road as well. So
Okay.
sometimes if cars are going by, sometimes the lights can reflect, you know, if they hit
Yeah.
one another, other car, whatever it is. Because sometimes, you know, I always try to look for the solution to the answer to the question.
Well, we all do that on the team, yeah.
And sometimes it can be like
Yeah.
traffic going by and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's what it is all the time, but it can possibly be that. But it was just interesting the last time, or if it wasn't the last time or the second last time, the shadow thing. Someone was over at that door on the left hand side. Someone seen a shadow either standing there or moving around.
A few
Okay.
people saw it.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah, you were up with that
Yeah.
night, weren't you?
And what time of night would that have been?
I'd say about half 11,
Okay.
give or take. Because again, we do a couple of sessions with them.
Okay.
And let them go and do their own little thing then as well, which
Yeah.
they get a good time out of that.
And it's interesting, as Jake said, a few people had seen the
Oh, yeah.
shadow that
Okay.
particular night.
Wow.
Like these
It's
people, they're
just
not
like a
all
little
best
square.
friends.
It's just like a little square window,
Yeah.
and people who were
So, yeah.
looking at it
Seen
were
it walk by.
saying they seen a shadow blocking the window, so they
Yeah.
couldn't see the window anymore.
Yeah.
Really interesting, yeah.
And these aren't all friends. These
No.
would
Oh no,
be
these
people,
were different. Yeah.
different people. Yeah.
Wasn't there something about the? Oh God, brain freeze now. What's the name of that box with the words in it?
The
Obulus.
yes,
Wasn't there something about that night as well? Was there words coming out on that or something?
in the middle. Yeah, and I forget what the
Yeah.
words were. That got a good reaction as
Yeah.
well. I forget what. Do you remember, Jake?
I think it was
don't
names of
remember.
people. I think it was names of people. I
Mm.
think. The reason I remember something because I write out the blog. So when you write out the blog,
Yeah.
you remember so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like
You write out the blog, Chris?
Yeah.
Wow.
that. I write
He's a
books as well.
writer. You know,
I read
he,
books as well. But
He uses AI.
touche.
Well done, Jake. Jake's a man of little words, but when he
I'd
speaks,
love to.
he punches.
I'd love to investigate the grounds as well, though, not just the
I
castle.
was actually about to say that,
I'd
Chris.
love to investigate because if question mark the elemental was put there by the druids, it'd be
The whole
interesting-
area,
the whole
yeah.
area would be an interesting site to investigate. You know what I
and I
mean?
think when people had said they've ever experienced
Yeah.
elemental, it's not inside; it's outside.
It's
And
outside.
are there streams and stuff nearby? And
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
There
Not
could
that
be,
I know of.
unless there's one like I've never been down like the real back of the cat. I've never been down there.
is it in the
But I've
woods?
never heard of it.
Or is
No.
it in?
No,
oh,
it's
okay.
open. It's just I don't even know what's at the back.
That's what I mean. So unless there's, I don't know if there's a stream down
I
Yeah,
there.
I'd love to
don't
go
think
around
there
the
is.
area because I'm sure there's so much. Obviously, there was battles there anyway because of the clans, but I'd
See,
love
it's
to
a
go down.
drive-
Field with
right
cows
in.
behind it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There is
So I
actually
don't think
That's
I don't know
what?
if there is actually
a
much.
field with cows behind it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I looked out the window and I seen cows.
No, there actually is.
Yeah.
But no, it's only open. Like it's
Okay.
not. Now, if you'd have to know that it's there. If
Yeah.
you're driving right down the road, you'd see the top of it and all. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
Big driveway, big walls.
oh,
Yeah.
You
nice.
know.
Yeah.
Like there's a gate lodged to the left hand side, and there is a driveway driving down. But when it kind of opens up into like a courtyard area.
Okay.
Maybe courtyard is the wrong word. Like an open front lawn area.
Yeah.
And you've got the main tower, and then you've got the other burnt kind of remains there to the side.
Kind of like my house. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to investigate
Very
the grounds. I'd love to investigate the grounds. Though.
Yeah. That.
And
Oh,
that's something
yeah.
that we haven't done,
Yeah.
in fairness, because
Yeah.
anytime we've gone down
just
there
go
has
to
been
the-
winter.
Yeah.
It's been
That's all. Yeah, yeah.
Been
It's been
bleak.
bleak.
Yeah.
It's always been bleak.
And do you have to like? Is there a gate? Can you drive up to the building?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
park.
but the gate is open when he knows we're
Oh, yes.
coming.
oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
it's closed
Yeah.
normal time.
Yeah.
Oh no,
So
if you're just driving down there now, no, the gates.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you can drive up
Yeah.
to the actual front door of it. You know. What I mean?
Yeah.
And the little knocker, the skull and crossbones knocker on it.
Oh really? Wow. That's cool.
And there's deadly little
quirky things.
Yeah, exactly. Little things that he's put there, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And there's a picture in the middle floor, and Sean was showing it to me. He bought it at an auction, and there's a bullet hole in it.
Oh, wow.
And it's in the eye of the man. And I said to Sean, that's amazing. Like, where did you get that? And did it get damaged? And he was going, I don't know who it is. I bought it at an auction, and it's a bullet hole.
Wow.
Like, yeah, he just picks up these quirky things.
It's really quirky.
Deadly stuff.
It is really quirky.
And he got some, remember that there's a big thing in as you walk in the door on the
that's
right hand
off
side.
that's off a ship, isn't it?
Yeah,
The front
he
of the
got
ship.
that
wow.
transferred from overseas,
Wow.
like old. Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and there's a lot of detail in that. And then like the huge fireplace, like with the stoves built into it. But it's real old school. But it's just the way you'd want it. You know, long, like really long tables and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's really.
And I believe when you stay overnight as well, there's a hearty breakfast in the morning.
Well,
First time we stayed there was probably
yeah,
nearly 10 years ago. Wasn't it?
Yeah, nearly 10 years ago. But I think he may have stopped that now. He was like Lepcastle Sean and the breakfast. You always heard.
I heard about that, yeah.
But I think he may have stopped that. I know that when we stay down there, we don't opt for the breakfast now because it's a lot of work.
I'll bring
for
my
him.
own food.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Billy bring us sandwiches. But it's a lot of work for him, so I know we did.
But that's understandable.
Yeah, he'd just be delighted. Like, like, no, you're grand. But he used to do it. I don't think he does it anymore.
Remember when it wasn't the last time, maybe it was the last time we leave. I'm in charge of the fire when I'm there. Like, I take over fire duty. It's just some of the fires that I like. Actually, now that's coming across really wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, now there's two of us now. If the Gardaí are listening, it's Chris Rush from Arklow.
The last time.
And Christopher Rush from Arklow. I can't even the Rush from Arklow, and he's a novelist. So if you want to take him into your cell.
But so this is a big, huge stove, like a double door stove. Remember the last time we were leaving? I was going like I shut over the doors and I shut those doors. We're halfway back into the goes. If you see on the news in the morning, the Lepcastle is burnt down. We know who to blame. Now the fire was like smaller, you know.
Yeah.
I was worrying. Did I shut those doors? Because we're cross-eyed. We're so tired at that stage.
Oh, do you remember that morning? We were so like, it was actually crazy. And I say, if we'd have been,
well, I'm quite lucky in that department because I could fall asleep standing up.
Yeah.
If ever I am down there.
Billy, we would be not even left Wicklow. He would be asleep.
Matron.
Yeah.
Remember that night? We were coming back from Loftus Hall one night and I fell asleep and we were coming into Wicklow and obviously what I was dreaming about, I don't know, but I woke up, must have been a Carry On movie, and I just shouted, "Ooh, matron."
He was in the back of the car. We went over a speed bump and he just pops his head up and says, "Ooh, matron." I swear to God.
It's a true story. It's actually a true story.
They're all true stories.
As sad as it is.
It's true.
I'm not really painting a good picture about myself tonight.
Really? My estimations, that's saying something. But it's been a very interesting episode tonight, I have to say. I think 70% of it's been left on the turn. So, final thoughts, Lepcastle, okay? And we know you haven't been there, Billy, so it's not really fair. But actually, we'll get your thoughts, obviously. Tina, overall, what do you think of Lepcastle?
Like, it's an amazing place to go. It's an amazing place to see. I haven't experienced anything there, but I have heard a lot of stories that people have experienced. So, it's a great piece of Irish history, and
Absolutely.
I would highly recommend to see it if you haven't seen it already.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Billy, I know you haven't been there, but
just really from listening to you guys tonight and what I've read about the place, just really interesting, and seems like there's a lot of energy around that area. And I'd like to go sometime. Yeah, if you're willing to take me.
We'll get you there, don't worry. Jake, yourself?
Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah. It's good. Been a few cool, interesting stuff that's happened on lockdowns and all, and yeah, it's just a cool place. As I said, it's a castle, like at the end of the day, it's hundreds of years old. It's I love it.
Yeah, no, cool. Imagine owning that place. Imagine saying, like, whereabouts do you live? Oh, I just live in my castle.
Yeah.
I was going home to me castle.
Like I'd be up on the top of it with me like glass of whiskey. Just yeah, hello.
I'd have my own flag. Hello. Pirate flag, probably.
You're a house crest just on the front of the side.
I spray painted on it.
I tell you, I'd build a moat on a drawbridge.
I would. I'd have alligators in it.
But yeah, I just echo what the guys were saying. Like as you were saying, Tina, it is a very important part of Irish history. A lot of stuff went on there, and it has been greatly preserved by Sean. To be fair to him, so you can see a lot of love and work went into it. As regards the paranormal, I've never experienced anything myself, like what you were saying, but I've seen other people experience stuff.
Of course.
Which is very interesting as well. But listen, definitely worth checking out if you haven't been there. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for listening.
And that was interesting. So, from myself, Tina,
Bill,
Jake,
Chris, and guys, as always, stay spooky.
You have been listening to Paranormal Researchers Ireland podcast. Intro and outro music, Nothing to be Scared of by Kakuru. Main theme background music, Beneath the Church, Stems Melody by Joe Wandrini. Both intro and outro main theme music sourced through the Epidemic Sound app. PRI podcast recorded and produced by Jake and edited and mixed by Bill using Adobe Audition. We hope you enjoyed our podcast, so why not join us for our next supernatural podcast coming very soon.